That's one reason why I hopped into the studio real quick on my way home.
That's great.
Okay.
Thanks, Frank, for joining us. And
Yeah.
thanks, Frank,
All
for
right.
joining us and actually starting the stream. Appreciate you. I got something going on here.
It takes about 20 seconds for it to get across to YouTube.
Okay.
So any second.
All right, guys. Let's try that again. Welcome, Frank.
All
Welcome,
right, we're
Chris.
across to YouTube.
All right, thanks, Frank. So we started I started on time. I just unfortunately didn't actually start on time by clicking the button to start the live stream. And I think I did because earlier Michael and I was playing around with it, so I probably just totally forgot about it. Oh, Greg, don't you give me any of your guff. You just enjoy your 891 that you were forced to buy. I just watched your stream and Josh's stream this afternoon, and that was hilarious that he put you on live and got you over 50. That was very cool. Welcome, D.
I will say this. Sorry, I'm still trying to collect my thoughts here. So Country James and Scott, WM7C, or as Greg likes to do it on his show, Great Scott, decided to drop into Josh's chat and made mention that if he got to a certain amount of likes, he was going to wind up buying it. And sure enough, he did, because I mentioned it during the after chat, and there he was.
Hey, well, first of all, it was funny. And Greg, you're going to love that 891. I have two of them. So one's in the other hotel. I don't have it in this hotel, but the other hotel in Japan. And then the other one's going to be my Go radio, and then I'll put one in the truck again, or the Jeep, sorry. And definitely get the ATAS. I know you were talking about getting the ATAS. That ATAS is an amazing antenna, 2 meter through 40. So definitely get that. No extra cable needed for tuning. It tunes through the coax. So you're going to love that, Greg, when you do mobile. And you can even use it for POTA, right? Up to 40 meter.
Yeah.
So
that 890
go ahead, Michael.
Sweet radio. I love that radio.
Yeah.
That's on my wish list.
Yeah, I need to get some Gyuyaku or Gyukaku. I'll have to look at that up. I'm not sure if that's right. Well, if you were closer in Texas, or if I was there in your area, yeah, I could probably bring some home for you. But I'm sure you have some there in California, Greg.
Just drop.
So, guys, we start
airplane hatch as you fly over LA.
Yeah, we'll just pop the airplane plug and throw it out the window.
There you go.
It's a Boeing aircraft, so that should be easy.
Yeah,
So, guys, we started at 9, but I didn't click the start stream. So, Frank, thankfully, is always is the backbone of most streams and got me going. But basically tonight, normally on my first Sunday Night Ragchew of the month, the topic I try to kind of focus on is preparedness. Now, Ragchew is we just talk about anything, but I try to focus a little bit on preparedness. And so when people were seeing that I was talking about radio, some people might be thinking, yeah, DB Cooper. Some people might be, like, well, Ray, I thought we were going to talk about, food storage or some kind of, normal preparedness talk. But as Michael and I was talking in the beginning, I got into ham radio because I went back to school at age 40 and got into Homeland Security and emergency management. And I got into ham radio because of the communications side of it. So, and now, of course, I love all these other parts of ham radio, and I enjoy all parts of it. But ham radio is a great and probably the best alternative communication, in my opinion, when you don't have cell and internet, because even above GMRS and FRS, because you can, like I'll show you in a moment, you can link through the internet out of the country. You can connect to local repeaters in your area that may have. So let's say I need to connect with Michael, and he's there in my hometown and in the same repeater range normally. But let's say he has power out and no cell, let's say some of that's down, but the repeater may have backup power. So I can connect with a radio through this internet linking system to the repeater back there and talk to him and get communication up and running. And there's other ways too, All-Star, D-Star, there's a bunch of different ways that are internet linking that work as long as you have internet, like I do currently here in Japan. So that's kind of the topic tonight. So, and we can talk about other things, but Frank, whatever you want to discuss, if you've got any ideas and comments on using radio and the importance of radio for personal preparedness and how people can implement that. If you've got any ideas, what do you say, Frank?
Get yourself one of these radios and just be done with it.
What is it? It's obviously a Motorola.
A Motorola XTL. Geez, which one is that? That's the 2500 there. It's a base/mobile rig. You can get them VHF, UHF, 7800, 900, across the whole spectrum there. And okay, I just realized I'm out of focus. I apologize for that.
You're not, Frank. You're clear.
And
You're
as
very
far
clear.
as preparedness goes, or prep stuff, batteries, and solar. But make sure you can take it wherever you need to.
Yeah, backup batteries. You don't just want a single battery, right? You never know how long something's going to last.
And don't make it, okay, if you're doing like soda activation, sure, take the small battery. But so like for the house, the shack and the studio, they run off of three 100 amp hour batteries to power everything. And I can go a couple days with that and plug in the cable modem, and I'm good to go to live stream any emergency stuff type thing. Radios are all piped into the soundboard, the whole nine. So if you're in a static situation like a household, an apartment, or motel room where you're going to be for a long time, the bigger the battery, the better. And solar. That's the next big thing to it. And Chris is saying the amount of prepping with radio is immense. What are you going to do next with radio prep? Any special modes? Any special comm plans? That is a deep dive.
Well, there's a lot of good questions there, and those are perfect questions for the discussion tonight to kind of rag chew about, right? And Michael's got a lot of. Yeah, I know Michael's involved very heavily in emcomms. We'll shorten it to emcomms or ecomms, however you want to say it tonight. But Michael, what do you say?
Well, Paul and I both volunteer in the ARES program, and for North Texas, Denton County has probably the most active ARES program, and that's because of our partnerships that we have with various organizations. Top of the list is probably the Office of Emergency Management for Denton County, National Weather Service, the Denton County CERT team, the Denton County Medical Reserve Corps. All these teams are groups that we've worked with often. And so ham radio is very, very much alive in North Texas in Denton County. And I can only speak for Denton County because that's the county that Paul and I volunteered together with. Everything from search and rescues to damage assessments. We got called out after some storms, huge storms in the area. We have done health and welfare nets, which I fully believe saved some lives during our winter storm we had back in February 21. So the radio communications and radio having a communications plan is critical. It is very critical to have something to back up. And I'm going to go off a tangent here. Don't source it just to amateur radio. Expand your horizon a little bit. Look at FRS, MERS, GMRS. I'm a big GMRS guy. We have 2 GMRS repeaters in Denton County. And tonight, my son was away from the house, and bad storms came in. And guess how I was talking to him? Through a handheld GMRS radio, because he's not a ham, and he has no interest in becoming a ham. So
that's one of the, if I may, that's one of the pluses to having GMRS in the game plan, if you will, for things like that, because your GMRS license covers the whole immediate family.
Right.
Yeah. Actually, that's a good way to do it.
Believe it or not, if you read it, and I thought it was your household. No, it's not your household. It says aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews.
Yeah.
It lists it, and I was kind of shocked that they expanded it like that, because at one time I thought it was just the household, but they're actually, my brother and my mom that live in Arlington, Texas, can use my GMRS license. By the way, I'm reading it, so I'm encouraging them to get their own. It's no brainer. There's no test to it, but GMRS is the way you take care of your family, and if you don't have a GMRS license, get one. That's how you take care of your family. Now, if you're wanting to work with a community, work with public safety and emergency services, and Skywarn and all these different things, that's where your ham license is going to come into play. So I think it's important to have both.
Now, I will say this. Actually, in a way, there is it, and this is a little dig at Greg here in the chat. There is a test for GMRS. If you don't sign up on the FCC website, on the FCC ULS, if you don't sign up at the right time of day, say, I'll use Central Time because that's where most everybody is. Say you sign up on ULS at 10:59 Central. Well, the FCC system's already down for the night for maintenance. You're not getting your GMRS license. So there is a test, a test of patience.
Right. And when I got my GMRS license, believe it or not, I had my computer right here, and then my big screen TV watching Tank Radio apply for his license. So I did step by step, crank the tank. And that's how I got my license. And then at 12:01 a.m., I had my call sign. I mean, it was just that quick.
And especially lately, it's been a lot harder to do things later in the evening.
Let's tackle Chris's questions here. I think you're both right on that, and that's what I kind of do too. My mom does not have a ham radio license, but she got a GMRS license, I don't know, a few years back. She's 84 years old, and she participates in a weekly GMRS net. And then after that, it's in their church group in North Idaho. Then after that, they do a ham radio net. So they've implemented both GMRS and ham in their church community in this North Idaho area. And my 84-year-old mother participates in that with GMRS. But let's talk about his questions here. So where are you going next with radio preparation? And that's a pretty broad question, but a good question that a person probably needs to narrow down with what are they intending to use it for. Kind of like when we look at ham radio, are we going to POTA? Do we want mobile? Do we want it in a box? Do we want it in a backpack? To be able to carry up a mountain? So there's a lot to that. But Michael, let's start with you. Do you have any kind of goal or next step, or are you where you want to be with radio preparation?
I think that's a never-ending task. I'm actually in my living room at home, and I'm not watching the sunset at the commissioner's court, which I took this picture of. But I'm looking right over here to my left, and I have a box, just a go box. It's actually a tote full of equipment, and I have a Icon. Was it the IC 7000? Is that right? I'm blanking out.
I don't know ICOM. Maybe Frank does.
It's already
Michael, if it's not
given to me. And
if it's not too big to bring up, you can bring it up on screen. Is it too big or too heavy to move around?
I got stuff piled up. It's ready to deploy right now. It's all packed up. So
just don't move your camera, because we know it took forever for us to get that situated earlier.
Probably the IC 7100. Go
ahead, Frank.
It might be the IC 7100.
No, it's an IC 7000. It's an older one. It's got a full color display on it.
Oh,
and it eats a lot of energy. Yeah. Great radio. It's an energy hog, but it's a great radio. And I got a little portable Wolf River coil antenna set up there. And I have a X30 diamond antenna that I use for VHF, UHF on a speaker stand. And that's what I will set up if I was out deploying, which we do deploy often.
This one?
That's it.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know that one.
The nice thing about participating and being part of an ENCOM community, such as Denton County Amateur Radio Emergency Services, is I get to use GOAs and OPRs. GOAs and OPRs are limitless. And that's other people's radios and government-owned assets. So
that's useful.
Yeah.
I mean, trust me, I've ran nets off a 500-foot tower before. So, and that was at a government installation. So it's nice to have our clubs in the county. They have assets and they will bring it out for us if we do have an emergency. So we did a search and rescue about a month ago in Denton, and the Denton County Amateur Radio Association brought out their communications trailer, and we ran the net from there, along with the Denton County Sheriff's Department, and they were the ones that called us out, and Denton County CERT, and just multiple agencies working together, and all the volunteers were coordinated through amateur radio.
So let me real quick on the thing of radio preparation for me is, yeah, I've got a lot of great radios. I've got HF. I've got all capabilities, almost everything, right? But like I made I can't remember, a few weeks ago, I made a video of how I'm going to start a new series of me building my radio pack, and Gaston, the tech prepper, is him and Julian, Survival Technord, are my two big inspirations for that. But Gaston at the Tech Prepper channel, he has amazing notebooks and actual cards of what frequency and stuff he's going to use. So he will write down actual frequencies and everything. So my thing is, currently I'm trying to get an actual man pack with the radio and all set up like a lot of people have, instead of just stuff everywhere. And the other thing I want to do is I want to have a notebook type file with, oh, did we lose you, Frank?
No, I'm bringing something else in to show you.
Oh, okay. I want to get it organized, like a notebook file organized. Like, these are the frequencies to use. These are the way Gaston does on the Tech Preppers. Kind of one of my goals. Chris, do you or anybody else in chat have anything they may be doing? Let us know in the chat if you're doing something, like what's your next step or what you're currently working on in your radio preparation for emcomm or whatever. Let's just move to his modes, the special modes. Unless you have anything else on that, Frank, on radio prep.
Oh, I was trying to bring this camera in, but for some reason it wasn't wanting to behave. You want to talk about radio prep? Okay.
Well, because some people are just using radio to use radio. It doesn't. They're not necessarily using it to prep for anything. So maybe we can inspire some people tonight to look at that. Look at the radio gears that they're using, and maybe start implementing that in creating some kind of a preparedness plan for your family so you can keep in touch.
Well, Paul, I just grabbed 4 HDs I have right here in my reach, and I'm looking over here, and I have 4 more right in front of me as well. You can never have enough HDs.
Yeah.
But you need to make sure you keep your HDs charged, but you can never have enough HDs because, this last week, Tuesday, we had straight line winds come through the colony at 95.1 miles an hour measured. And so we lost power. And I have underground utilities in my part of the neighborhood. So, but I'm also on a priority line. I think we're near City Hall and near the fire department. And we had power restored in about 3 to 4 hours. Down street from me, about 14 hours. And a common friend of ours that who bought a used news van was running his house from Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. until yesterday morning. He finally got power. So he used his news van to power his house for 4 or 5 days. But you can never have enough HTs because, if your base station goes down and you don't have a battery backup for your base station, you can grab these easily and still be able to communicate with others. So lots of HDs. I just have them everywhere. I mean, you look at my truck and they're stuffed in all the door jams, and I keep them charged.
So what
I don't want to lose. No, go ahead after this real quick though. I don't want to lose. Can you star Chris's thing on Battleboard. I want to get into that in
Yeah,
a
I
little
can
bit
do
once you're
that.
done.
And start.
Thanks, buddy.
So this is just a portion of my Go box. You
A portion.
Yeah, a portion. So I'll
Oh my
start.
gosh.
Like live.
I'll run the gambit here. The top left is UHF. The top right is VHF. The second row is 6 meter, both CHP and R6 meter stuff. So low band CHP, which is 39 to 44 megahertz. So right below 6 meters for us. The right side says LNU West there. Let's see. Oh yeah, I can. Let's see. Right there where my mouse is clicking. That's VHF as well. This one is UHF analog and DMR. Another VHF radio, another UHF radio on P25 on the bottom, very bottom right, and then 7800 on the very bottom left. And I have multiples of HTs and mobiles to complement that. So I have basically the same exact setup, only condensed in a different way in the mobile, as well as HTs for. I have at least 4, 5, 7, 800s, 4 UHF HTs, gaggle, and by a gaggle I mean I could fill one whole 8x12 desk up of VHF HTs, but the 6 meter stuff I only have 2 radios for, and all of them are interop radios. So if needs be, and I live in California, home of wildfires. So if needs be, these first 3 radios on the right side here all are CDF ready, or Cal Fire, as most people know it these days. Ugh, I hate the name Cal Fire. I always knew them as CDF, always will know them as CDF. They are all CDF ready, and everything's in them. There was one fire in 2019 we had here that people were concerned whether or not they would be evacuated, and people were trying to other people, not officials, other people were reassuring them, no, the fire's not going to touch here, fire's not going to touch here. This middle radio right here that says LMU West on it, I was listening to the TAC channel for the fire because I was able to hear the TAC channel, and they one of the line commanders said, hey, yeah, we need to start evacuations in this area. And before even the PIO or anyone else could get it out, I was like, hey, a heads up, you're probably going to get a notice within the next 45 to 60 minutes if you live in this area to start prep for evacuation. I had a half dozen or so naysayers coming back going, no, that's not going to happen. What happens 30 minutes later, even sooner? They get the evacuation notice. So talking about being prep ready and future preps, I make sure that everything is backup dependable across everything. So all the UHF radios have GMRS in them, as well as all the PD and TAC channels, like California CA law is one of them. We have those in there and even more. So I'm always expanding and upgrading my prep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Michael was saying, it's kind of an ongoing thing for most.
Real quick, I want to address this one. Chris asked, what are my power needs for that setup? Chris, that whole setup can run off of one 100 amp hour battery for 6 days, the way I do it, because most of it is receive only. I transmit on some of this over here, but most of it is receive only during those times. It's like 90% receive, 10% transmit. So it lasts a long time.
That's good.
And then let's hear. Next mode, going nets with radio prep, any special modes?
Yeah, bring that up. Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Any special modes and any special comm plans. I think those can be wrapped up into one. And if you don't mind, Paul, since I have it, I'll take it, and then you or Michael.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
So for me, I go with strictly analog because we are still mostly an analog area. If needs be, I because I'm also a ham, I have P25 and NXDN capability. And you're darn tootin', I have, and when for us hams out here, WinLink. If you don't have WinLink, WinLink has these forms, so it's no big secret. The ICS forms that are used, the ICS 217, the ICS 219, the Radiocom instant plans, those are publicly available in WinLink. And I use those a lot. Like when I go camping, and I know I'm going to be in a no cell. Now here comes the other side of the prep for you. When I'm going camping and I'm going to be in a no cell phone zone, yeah, my HF radio's with me. Yeah, one of my antennas is with me. Yeah, one of those 100-watt batteries and solar panels, 100 amp hour batteries and solar panels with me. And I set up a radio plan and an ICS plan with times, give or take 30 minutes, depending upon propagation and what I'm doing at the time, of when I'm going to check in. And if I don't, here's what you need to do to try and get a hold of me to get, or, start up the search and rescue if you need to, if I'm out camping. So I use all the modes, but analog is preferred. And yes, I use those forms. And if you want, I can give you guys information about WinLink later. So, Michael, how about you?
Okay, I'm an analog guy, and most of my communications is local. I mean, I will get on HF on occasion, but I heavily use analog local. We use P25, but that's with our communications with the county government agencies. Now, Fusion, believe it or not, Fusion has played a role in Hurricane Harvey. A lot of the logistics going up and down 35 was handled on the Texas Nexus, which is a room on the Wires X system, and it was used quite effectively. But analog all the way. WinLink is a big thing around here too. When we're running exercises, we're using WinLink. Sometimes I'll transfer some ICS 213 and 214 forms through WinLink. Now, we have our areas nets once a month here in Denton County on the third Thursday of the month at 7:30 on the 146.92 repeater. If you're in the Denton County area, you're welcome to join. But we have so many people trying to check in at one time that you're getting doubles and triples on the air. So what we implemented was you could check in via WinLink. And what you do is you send your check-in message to N5DCA, which is the Denton County Aries call sign. And with that, people we've taken the voice check-ins, and then we gave the presentation. Then we take in the WinLink check-ins, and ask for more voice. And then we do a round robin after the presentation. And there's always a presentation on every net. So we want everyone to know at least the basics. Even if you don't have your radio set up for WinLink, it does have Telnet, which is basically you're just using the internet. Just so you can know the basics of how WinLink functions, start with Telnet, and then get your Signal Link or TNC or whatever you're going to use to move on from there. But just start with some of the basics. In fact, while I'm running a net on, if I'm on the net VHF, I tend to use Telnet because we got 10, 15 people sometimes checking in using WinLink. And it just cuts down the traffic so much. That information is so critical, and it's detailed, and you're not going to mess it up. So,
do you participate in WinLink Wednesdays?
Oh yeah, and that's my friend John, KF5PO John. Just if you're interested in getting into that, I think he's doing it every other week. John Hill, he's actually been on some of my videos.
I think it's this Wednesday. I think first and third Wednesday, isn't it?
Yeah, sounds right.
You're right. So John Hill, he was on my. If you look on my channel, Getting Out Live. I followed him to his strength lifting competition. So that's the guy who runs WinLink Wednesday, and he, I met him at a children's museum because he came to see a amateur radio demonstration that I was a part of, and that's how we met, and that's how he got into amateur radio. And he's running WinLink Wednesday now, so I'm glad you mentioned that.
He has a video on a couple of weeks ago, Getting Out in Life with John, and that's the guy. He's a really cool guy. All right, thanks. I have to agree with both of you guys. For those of you in the chat that haven't used WinLink, use it. Get used to it, and because even if you don't use it for preps, you can use it for just your regular email if you need to. If you lose email or something, you got to get a message out or need to check on somebody.
Absolutely.
For a little over, probably, about 2.5 years, I've been running a monthly NVIS net for my church in North Texas and Oklahoma. And one of the requirements I had for them, besides we check in on 40, 60, and 80 meters, is they had to send me a WinLink email by a certain time, because I wanted them, and it didn't have to, I don't care what it said. I just wanted them to get used to using it. Because if you stop using it, especially if you're using like the non-telnet, if you're using HF or VHF, UHF, you can forget how to set and use those settings and set that up. So WinLink is huge. I agree on both of those for any kind of communications and for fun for the WinLink Wednesday, the bi-monthly question.
And then the other one here, check out Battleboard for your documentation notebook. They have a great system for including things like maps. I'm working on field cards. Absolutely.
One more thing, I just forgot. Let me say on the modes, because I do like digital modes, and digital mode doesn't necessarily mean you need internet. One of the ones I use, we all know FT8.
Oh,
one of the modes I'm trying to get better at as I listen to and follow Tech Prepper and Julian is the JS8 call. So if you guys are interested in that and like FT8 style type modes, look into JS8 call and kind of start learning how to use that. That's a fun one. And it's basically like FT8, but you can type in textful messages like PSK or RTTY.
Absolutely. And I will drop the link for JS8 call in the chat as well.
All right, cool.
And I'll drop WinLink as well, because both of those modes are absolutely in my comms plan. WinLink is just the one I use the most because I mostly message, and what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to give the download side of WinLink. I'm going to mostly message my family who are not hams. So you can send with WinLink and with JS8 with a couple added on applications, and you have to, work things out there. You can message email. So WinLink natively email and cell phones. And with JS8 with a couple added attached programs to it, you can text message. Now, granted, it is one way. So you message them. Now, if you email them with WinLink, it's two ways.
Yeah, if there's anybody in chat, I don't know who's in and what everyone's knowledge capabilities are. The ones I can see here, I think for the most part, no. But if anyone's in here that's fairly new to radio and you're kind of confused, don't let any of this get you confused. This isn't something that we all just knew once we got our license. I've been in it 11 or 12 years, and it's taking time, and I'm still learning things. So get into the licensing if you don't have it, and work your way towards these things, and start finding the areas you have interest in, learn about them from other people.
I will also say this, Paul. There is one very important person that has great digital technology like WinLink and whatnot covered in their YouTube channel. Smart Jason,
yeah, who is
ACK.
Oh, you're right. He does a lot of great stuff as well. I'm so focused on the stuff that
a lot of it is Linux based, but you can take it cross-platform, no problem.
Yeah, he's done a lot of stuff I've enjoyed too in VIS videos and stuff as well. So yeah, he mentioned a WinLink game that would be cool, and I thought about doing a WinLink stream to where everyone as they watch the stream, can get on their WinLink, set it up, and then try to send an email back and forth to try to get people going on WinLink who haven't used it.
And
Absolutely.
one of the chat, and all I see is the first letter of your name. I don't see the whole chat because of the app I'm using. But one of the people in the chat says, I need to look into WinLink. I've never touched it. John has a Google site, and the only way I can tell you to get to it is go to WinLink Wednesday, North Texas, maybe. But he's getting WinLink check-ins from around the world on his bi-week. Is it bi-weekly? Is that right?
I think it's the first and third.
Yeah. So on his nets, but he's got a great step-by-step how to get it running on your home system, even for the radio. And it's a great program. Another thing that's really becoming big in that world is VARA. In fact, most of HF, if not all, has gone to VARA. And VARA is WinLink a lot faster, and it's got a very different sound than your normal WinLink. But all of our WinLink nodes here in Denton County, and we're all on the same frequency. It's 144.900. Is that correct, Paul?
14499. No, 900.
Tells you how often I've used it. But we have multiple nodes in the county, and we got repeaters. So, like, I may not be able to get to one that is in Little Elm because something blocks me between that and the one in Little Elm. But on the Lake Area Amateur Radio Club's tower, they have a digipeater, so I can tell to go from my house to the K5LRK to whatever node I'm trying to hit that's wouldn't otherwise be hidden from me. And even our EOC has a node. It's KD5 EOC. And so when you do set it up and you're pulling open all these nodes or a node map there, make sure you put 8 emcomm repeaters as well, or emcomm gateways as well. And that will just make it so much more options that you have there. But yeah, when we're running a drill, that 144.99 is just constantly going with everybody putting the WinLink messages through, but they all get through.
Michael, I have a quick question for you. I don't think you can see the back chat here. What is your WinLink email?
Should be just his call sign.
Yeah, it's my call sign at WinLink. And I have not.
I don't know your call sign. I'm sorry.
Not put my sign on YouTube verse yet.
Some people don't put their call sign out on YouTube.
So,
Paul, if you have it and you put it in the back chat, I can.
Yeah,
Paul, I want to show people an example, and I'll alias it.
So I'm and my WinLink station is over at the other end. And
that's house. Absolutely fine. Actually, I'll do it this way. Let me.
Here, I'll send it to you. I'm sending it to you now, Frank.
I need to get a PO box so people can't find where I live.
I was just going to say real quick, Colin, I will be going to. It was rainy today, and it's funny. I left Texas in thunderstorms. Landed in Tokyo yesterday with thunderstorms, which is very rare in Tokyo. You get typhoons if they come through, but thunderstorms in Tokyo was kind of funny. So I didn't go out, but right now I'm about 20 minutes away from what's called the Electric City in Shibuya. And if I come back here to Tokyo, I would like to plan to go, kind of live stream or video Electric City and go to some of the radio shops. But what I am planning, and I got my hotel and everything for the 4 days, is I'll be here in Tokyo. It's about, 20 minutes maybe south of me is the Big One Convention Center here in Tokyo that's going to have the Tokyo Ham Fair. And that's August 24th and 25th, I think. And I'm going to be here for that. And when I do that, I will be going to some radio shops in the Electric City. So just look forward to that.
So I'm going to just full screen this for a second so people can see it. I'm just going to do this. KM4ACK. So I just put his call sign here. Subject, hello. Hi, Jason. This is a message from Prep Ham Paul's, I swear I can spell, live stream on preparedness on 6/2/24. Enjoy the message. And then I post to Outbox. I can open a telnet session. It says it's ready. So I hit start. It's connecting. It's sending. And just like that, I've sent a message via WinLink. Granted, I used the internet, but I have sent a message via WinLink to KM4ACK. WinLink is literally that easy, and it's pretty much the same thing using HF as well, or VHF UHF.
And it's actually kind of fun. I like using the HF specifically because it's just cool to watch it. And I'm either connecting to someone that's 20 miles away, or I might hit an HF digipeater or whatever 300 miles away. It's very cool.
I have found that getting a little further out is better for you than anything else.
Yeah.
And Colin, yes, I know I used the wrong date. I know.
Oh, what did you? Oh, did you have the wrong date on? I didn't even look.
No, I did 6/2/24, and Colin's down in Australia, so it's technically 6/3. But like the rest of the world, I do it day, month, year. So it's 3/6/24. So yes, I was wrong on 2 counts. I know, Colin.
Yeah, I'm with Colin right now. I'm actually, Colin and I are seeing the future. So if you guys have any question what's in store for you tomorrow, just ask either one of us.
Well, what's the California lotto numbers?
We can only foresee 2 weeks. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to keep up with some of the chatter while you post that, so I didn't see what you did. But yeah, I think what I'm going to do, and I'm keeping notes too anytime there's suggestions. I think I will do a WinLink stream, or maybe do it once in a while, and a JS8 call stream. I'd like to use that more as well. And if we get a bunch of us on, and maybe through Discord, so we can voice chat with everyone as well.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, utilize it and play around with it. Maybe we can get guest on maybe to kind of give us any tips or tricks. I know he uses it a lot. I have him on the ham alert that you showed me, Frank, and his call sign's always on like 7.0079, or he's always on JS8 call.
Almost to the point that you have to turn off that specific ham alert.
Yep. I only turned yours off. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, because I'm always on FT8. I know. I'm say his name 3 times. Ape. I'm almost as bad as him.
FT8 is like 160 meters from me. I've never sent a single message on the FT8.
I'm trying to get Michael on, just to get him on HF, but
he wants me
we'll
to
see.
FT8 cold.
Hey guys, real quick, let me show you real quick what I was planning on doing, but it's not going to happen. Hopefully nobody's too disappointed. I will try to figure it out for another stream. What I was going to do was this right here. Okay, is that showing?
Yep.
Blank.
So I did a video a couple months ago on the Yaesu SCU LAN 10. It's a remote box that connects to your HF radio and your internet at home. You open a single port, 50,000 I think, or 50,001, and you can access and run your radio remotely. It's kind of like some of those remote radio stations. I'm sure they have fancier setups, but I tested it. I turned off my computer. I set my laptop up. I connected it to my cellular hotspot. I was able to link into my radio. I used it. I thought it was all set. I got in here earlier to use it. I clicked on the power button right here, and I get an error because I think what may be happening is the hotel's network may not allow this port, may not allow something. So I can't, unfortunately, do any remote radio operation, which is what my plan was, this layover. So this is the Yaesu software setup, and I literally can push to talk here, change frequencies, and I was going to try to make some QSOs from Japan on my home, on my QTH radio. So I'll play around with it.
VPN?
I tried it. I tried my VPN.
And it didn't work.
I thought,
oh wow.
No, I thought, well, maybe the VPN will work. I connected to the Dallas one nearby me, and it still wouldn't connect. So I'm not sure what to do here. I may email Yaesu and see if they have an answer. And I have a feeling it's just something with the hotel router.
Chris is on the same idea as I am.
I can try it again after the stream, but I thought about that and I thought, well, let me give it a try. And I did try. I have NordVPN, and I paid for it, so it's not like I have any limitations. And I connected to a specific Dallas repeater, or not repeater, whatever they're called. And I pulled it up again and it just would not work. So I'm not too sure what to do there, but I'll email Yaesu. So I apologize if anyone is looking forward to that. But the other thing I wanted to show you real quick is that I can do, let's get rid of that, is so this is the Yaesu FT2. Okay, and I mentioned about having remote connections. I powered up and I've got it set up already to do WiresX node mode. And let me just run WiresX. And if I could do it, let's see, I got to present that. It's so weird to have to do this. Did that come up?
Which
present, share screen, this one right here. Okay, so here's the WiresX software. And all you need for this is, you can still see me in the small box, right?
Yeah.
Is their little Yaesu SCU19 cable. Make sure your HT is updated to the proper firmware.
Paul, hold on. We're going to do this.
Okay, because all I see on my screen right now is the Yaesu software.
Yeah, well, let me...
I'm not at home. I hate only having one screen.
Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to get the right spot. Okay, no, I didn't want to do it. Come on, spotlight.
There we go. If you guys see that. Whenever
no, now I'm showing your screen there. All right, there we go. Yeah.
You see me on the bottom? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just this Yaesu thing. You no longer need a separate radio. You plug it in, you install the software, you register the radio with Yaesu, and then what this does is when I turn this on, I hit these two buttons, turn it on, and it puts it in PDN mode, personal digital node mode. And right now, as you can see, some of the nodes there, I've got a couple saved. I can go right here to Texas Nexus, connect to it, and right now I'm connected to that Texas Nexus. This is a group of WiresX repeaters and nodes all the way from the Gulf almost up into Oklahoma. And so right now, if I push to talk, I can talk into them. And I'm in Japan, so we'll use my Japan call. Let's see if someone comes back. JI1 GBC, JI1 GBC, testing from Tokyo. JI1 GBC, can anybody give me a radio check, please? So if you saw in there, it said K5VOP node because the radio is registered as K5VOP, but then I changed the call sign when I come to Japan because I have to use the Japanese call sign when I'm here. They don't reciprocate the same way other countries do. I was hoping someone would come back.
Well, while we wait,
Clark repeater.
Go for it.
KB5YKB, I believe it was. I might have missed that. This is JI1 GBC. Thank you for the test. I'm doing a quick live stream just to show how WiresX works. I appreciate the comeback. You got a nice clear signal, of course, through WiresX. JI1 GBC, back to you.
Tokyo K5JC radio here at the Johnson County Office of Emergency Management. And let me turn you over to another ham here also, KC58QB.
Look at that. We got somebody that wants to talk to a Japan node.
KJ5GLE, just want to say good evening.
Well, good evening, guys. That's very cool. From the EOC, my live stream tonight is actually talking about radio as it pertains to and how it can be used for emergency preparedness and emergency communication. So how fitting that you guys came back. I appreciate the comeback. You guys are nice and clear through the WiresX system.
Well, GCC, this is Bravo, India. I am here with Rick and James. I am the ARRL Emergency Coordinator for Johnson County here in Texas. We had a storm there a while ago, so we're here in the EOC. We did a Sky1 weather net to provide information to the Weather Service. We had a big activation for the full solar eclipse back in April. and all kinds of various community service and disaster communications opportunities at Ham Radio. So appreciate you doing the live stream and giving us a boost there. People need to know what we do and how we do it. Thank you, sir. KB5YBI operating K5JCE.
KB5YBI. Well, I appreciate it. It's just hilarious that you guys came back to me on this for preparedness, and you guys running all your nets and Skywarns and things. So it fit perfect with the stream. My Japan call is JI1GBC. My US call is K5VOP. I actually live in Little Elm. I'm in Japan for the weekend and just doing this Wires X test and talking emergency preparedness with radio. So thanks again for the comeback. I'm going to get back to the stream, guys. The stream name is Prep Ham Paul Preparedness Prep Ham Radio Ham Paul Prep Ham Paul. You guys take care. Be safe, and thanks again for coming back. JI1GBC. I'll be clear on your final. There you go. Look at that.
JI1GC. Let me get you on one more time if you don't mind. Still working under the call. Whiskey 5 Delta W5D. Remembering D-Day there. So KC5AKB and the crew. Your personal call also here in Texas. KC5AKB from Cleveland 73.
Very cool, Paul.
All right. KC5AKB, I got you down here as well. The home call there in the States is Kilo 5 Victor Oscar Papa K5VOP. I live in Little Elm, Texas. So look at that, guys. How much more of an example can I have?
We just have a forward 73 Kilo Bravo 5 Yankee Bravo India.
73 is JI1GBC. I'll be clear.
All right.
It can't get any better than that, guys. Come on. The radio preparedness gods were smiling upon the stream tonight.
Right. Okay. So
let me close this up. So there, you guys got an example of that.
At the same time, there we go. So Chris here, Digital Analog Ham, has a good point. He uses a mobile phone as a hotspot to simply supply internet to the remote. It might be, he guesses that might be expensive if you're just visiting. So maybe connect your laptop. Well, that would interrupt your stream, but it would interrupt your connection to stream. But you could try connecting your laptop or whatever to your hotspot and try it that way for something.
Well, that's true. I've got the hotspot over there. I didn't even think about that. That may work, guys. I don't want to take up the time on the stream. It's been a little over an hour, about an hour, but I did want to point out that what Colin said up there. Let's see. Yeah, the FT3. So if you have Windows 11, the old SCU 19 and 20 cables don't work. I had to get a new one when I got a new node at the home for the 300, and it's another SCU cable. And what do you say, Colin? Maybe 30 or 40 bucks, I think, is what it costs. So make sure you got the right cable if you're going to do Wires X.
And going back real quick, Michael, you were talking about never making an FT8 contact. Let me just, I'm going to solo this real quick. If you can read it easily, down here at the bottom right corner where my mouse is, where it's circling, I don't know if you can read that, but on FT8, I have 9,965 contacts across all bands. And on FT4, I have 3,660. So,
Good
you
grief.
know, not
I
like
thought that
I'm
was
busy
bad.
on FT8 and FT4 that much.
I like it just because it's a casual mode.
Right?
Yeah.
It's nice and easy to work with.
Maybe you can get me on there someday, but
someday. So those are the two things I wanted to showcase today, and then the rest was basically just us kind of rag chewing like we've been. Anybody else have anything that they want to mention about radio? I think so. If we break it down, let's break it down to three things. What would we think the three things as far as radio and being prepared with radios would be? Let's say you've got your ham license. Okay, what would you say the three things people need to focus on? I've got three things in my mind. I want to see what other ideas people have. Chat as well. Put three things you think. You've got a ham radio license, so you have all radio capabilities. GMRS, whatever. What are the 3 things people should focus on with radio in their preparedness plan?
Use it. That's
Okay, that's one I had. Practice or use it.
got to use it, because if you don't use it, it's like, if you don't know how to use a fire extinguisher, and radio should never be a fire extinguisher. It should be used all the time, not just in emergencies. You need to use it all the time, practice with it, learn how it works, learn the proper way to use it, because people start getting up there, when they're eating the mic, they don't know how to use a radio, and they don't even know which button to push sometimes. So, sorry.
Yeah, I say that's let's say you have the radio, you have the license, and everything. I think Chris says it as well there at the end. Train, 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 and he's not talking about Frank's favorite
about my trains.
hobby.
Let's hear.
He's talking about train. We all know that, right? And that's why we have nets. That's why we practice with the radio. We have field days. We have all these things, and we even have now all these YouTubers like Tech Prepper. These guys that go out and K4MACK. No, what's this called again?
Or ACK.
Okay, that's right. I'm messing up.
AM4 Kilo Mike 4 Alpha Charlie Kilo.
I always forget the M.
ACK.
But these guys, they go out and they show us how to use them, and that we got to keep using our gear. And Chris's idea of having a home and a mobile setup is great. What if you're in an evacuation situation?
We're
Grab your mobile setup.
Train.
Grab your mobile setup, preferably, at very minimum, of course, VHF, UHF, and if you can, HF capabilities as well.
And Paul has a good point here. Where is it? There we go. The GhostNet is weekly JS8 Vara WinLink training.
Interesting. So they already do some. There's a training thing right there. Maybe I'm not sure what that is. What's the S2 Underground?
Oh, that's a whole nother subject for a whole nother live stream, Paul. Unless you have
maybe
another hour.
Yeah, maybe. Dee, can you put that in Discord? I think you're in the Discord. It can be in mine or Frank's or one of those Discords that aren't overwhelmed with everybody posting.
So yours or mine?
Yeah, Frank's and mine are fairly new and with few people. So if you're in there, Dee, post it on one of those so we can kind of the information or a link or something for us.
So, Paul, what are your other 2 items when it comes to emergency situations?
Well, the first one was power. So like we talked about earlier, don't just have one. Like if all you have is an HT, don't just have one battery, right? Have a second battery that's charged so you can quickly change, and have a charger. I've got the AC charger somewhere for my FT2 here. I carry it with me so I can plug it in anywhere. And then the second one is know your frequencies. So if you don't know the local frequencies, it's kind of difficult to know what repeaters you can talk to get a hold of people in that area you want to talk to. Or if you're traveling, know the frequencies of where you're going. I had a friend that was going up to Oklahoma. He was going to teach radio to the group of young boys there. He had no idea how to find repeaters and what GMRS ham. So I kind of explained to him how to get that. And I said, you're going to want to know your frequencies before you go. You may not have cell power in the campground to find them. So that's and then the other one is, like you guys have been saying, is to practice and train and learn how to use it.
Have Ragchews.
And Chris
have
has a good
Ragchews.
point here, but I'll one up him on this one. He says 1 is none and 2 is 1. No. That is as outdated as Colin's gear. It is
I've heard this on another stream.
Probably from me, Paul. Probably from me.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was.
2 and 2 is none. So yeah, you get at least 4 redundant. That's why, relate back to the photo I showed earlier and yes, I know I'm gesturing off camera. I apologize. I have a few things to fix here. That's why earlier, I have 4 VHF radios, 2 UHF radios, a 7800 and a 6 meter, and then the redundancies in HT form. And I have twice the amount of batteries to go for that as well. So with that, there goes my camera. I'll just keep talking. You can hear me just fine. You don't need to see my ugly face. So with that, I wholeheartedly agree with Chris, but 4 is 2 and 2 is none, and practice, 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 and use. And my other big thing to that is use the different digital modes, like we were talking about: WinLink, VARA AC, VARA Chat, JS8 Call. Oh, geez, there's like 3 others that just escape my mind right now. That go find them and go use them and learn them.
There's a new HF digital mode for voice. I want to say it's free
Yeah,
free DV, I think.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah. Mutual friend of ours, Andrew, was telling us about it.
You can get SSB voice through on HF
let's
through a
see.
digital technology without as good of band conditions as you normally need.
My mouse is being dumb tonight, but here we go. This should do it. Yeah, you guys can see that.
Yes, that's
So-
it. Free DB.
It's using a GUI application for Windows, Linux, and OS X. So that means it runs on your favorite flavor of computer software. It allows any SSB radio to be used for low bit rate digital voice. So there's a whole absolute, let's see here. Urban noise is growing, and it's harder to make it usable. How to set it up, configure, download what you need, documentation, and there's even nets. So let's see here. USA 14.236 USB, anytime casual QSOs. So
Great.
definitely something to look forward to. I'll drop this in the chat here.
So D mentioned M17, but he just said and M17, and I immediately thought of the Sig Sauer handgun. So I thought that's what he's referring to. It's like have your radio and a handgun. So I thought I did. I mean, I thought that's what he was talking about. It's
No,
he
he
mentioned
talked
it.
about the radio M17. It's ironic that they named it that.
Yeah.
Paul earlier talked about the frequencies, and I don't know if y'all's counties or parishes, whatever, do this, but Denton County has the DICE plan, Denton Case of Emergency, DICE, and Channel 1 is our main Aries Skyward repeater. Channel 2 is the talk around for that repeater. Channel 3 is the old W5FKN, which is now W5NGU repeater. So it's all these repeaters, and we all have them channelized in Denton County. And it's really cool because you can say, hey, I need you to go to Simplex Alpha, and I need you to go to Simplex Charlie, and everybody knows what it is and what channel number it is. And it just makes it so much easier. Something to think about when you're in your ham groups, maybe get a ham radio ICE plan set up and publish it. So other hams coming in the area can utilize it as well. So we got all the major repeaters on ours.
So I know D mentioned M17. D, I don't think they have it on HF yet. I know it's VHF, UHF. It's basically your DMR, P25, NXDN. It's just a new digital mode for playing digital. I don't think because they've been on a lot of the other YouTubers lately. Let me see here. Specification.
I don't know why that's the first time I've heard of it.
Oh, you've been missing out on a lot of live streams then.
I guess so. I mean, I've been watching someone earlier mentioned Meshtastic, and I apologize who mentioned that. I can't remember who it was.
Chris.
Was it Chris?
Yeah,
and that's a lot of what I've been following lately. I have not heard of M17.
I'll send you links on M17. It's a rabbit hole for sure.
Well, you can put them in your Discord or my Discord or whatever as well.
Oh
Just put them
yeah,
up in there.
yeah.
So is that your is that a radio network or like a government network, Colin? Wireless Institute Civil Emergency Network.
And while we're waiting for Colin to answer, Chris, yeah, technically, okay, so technically it's a board that goes on a Pi Star that'll interface to whatever radio you can pull the data from into the radio. So like temporarily offline, Steve, this last week on Nuggets, they wired things up to get his FT6000 working on M17. And
Oh,
Colin
maybe I
says
did
no,
see
it's a
something.
ham emergency network.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Colin. Maybe I did see part of that stream, but the problem is I was in the air all day Saturday till Sunday morning, so I missed whatever happened Saturday.
This would have been Monday.
Oh,
Monday.
last Monday?
No, yeah, a week ago.
I'll pull the stream up and look for last Monday. Yeah, a lot of great ideas and discussion, guys. And like was said earlier, it's such a huge topic, and there's so much more that we can discuss. So maybe as we go forward, for my streams, I can start narrowing it down, do one thing, kind of one topic at a time in these kind of areas that I have some knowledge in, like M17 I can't say anything about, but we could certainly learn as we go from other streamers.
And D, all right, sounds good. And Chris has a good point here. Doc Brad, who is a big Coffee and Ham Radio supporter, as well as other YouTubers, he built his board and got it programmed and everything while he was on a plane flying.
Oh, geez.
I
do. I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
So that was the week before the setting everything up.
I'm just amazed that no one said anything, because if
As
an airline
causing issues, or
as an airline employee, we're literally trained to watch for out of the ordinary things, and that's definitely out of the ordinary.
Tinkering with a Pi Star and another board and this and that, while on a flight.
Yeah.
With batteries wrapped in masking tape.
No, I don't think there was there was all USB stuff.
73D.
73D.
Thanks for coming, man.
Real quick, Paul, if it's okay with you, I want to
go
promote something for you. Well,
yeah.
with you here. It is. I did this earlier today, and let me make sure I pick the right window here. So, Bobby, W6IWN, Soda and Ham Radio, hit his 1,000 sub mark and had his live stream giveaway today, and it was his first live stream ever, as you can see. No other live streams. And I've
only watched about a third of it. I haven't watched the whole thing yet. I saw it pop up earlier.
As you saw, I was the co-host for it. Yeah, that was like 6 o'clock in the morning for you, right?
Yeah, it was earlier. I just remember it popping up after breakfast, and I watched part of it.
It was about 5 hours ago now that it happened.
Yeah, about 7.
Yeah, okay. So he just hit 1,000 subs, and
nice.
He was on my live stream with you and me a couple weeks ago while everyone else was at Hamvention. And if you haven't subscribed to him, he has some pretty interesting stuff. He's based out of Reno, so he has all these fun. Let me go into his videos. This one, that's his most recent video from Babbitt Peak. I talked to him while he was up there. It's a soda and a poda, and he likes doing those. And he does some field testing and whatnot. So he has a lot of fun, interesting videos. If you guys want to check him out, I will be dropping his link in the chat.
I thought he messaged me on something.
He probably messaged you on Discord.
Yeah, I'm looking. I think
he probably wanted you in the live today, but that would have been too early in the morning for you.
Yeah, I can't remember. That sucks. There's so many Discord. It's hard to keep track of. Yeah, I can't find it. I know he said something to me here recently.
Bob,
A message.
you're gonna have to sit down and teach me Discord.
Yeah, once you get used to it,
Yeah.
I was using it for over a decade playing video games, so it became pretty natural.
I get alerts on it, and I haven't figured out really how to use it yet. So
For those of you who don't know about Bob, K6UDA in Southern Idaho, he runs a preparedness net Saturday mornings.
Oh yeah.
I helped him set up his Discord. If you're into preparedness radio and all that, he has a Discord as well, and they kind of run a no filter thing. So it's not something you want to join if you're a sensitive person or get easily offended, because it's talking about things that a lot of people won't talk about as far as preparedness goes. But he's
not
a
just
really good guy.
preparedness, but everything else too. Do you want
Well,
me to drop his YouTube link?
Well, you know how people get, just like when I mentioned the G17, guns to me means nothing, but to some people they think it's a mass shooting or something. So,
Right. Do you want me to drop Bob's YouTube link?
Yeah, put it in here. I love his weekly net, and that's the kind of net I would love to do, but he's already got it going. There's no point in having a second one.
And Chris, what do you want us to link in the Discord? Do you want us to link our Discords in the chat? Because I think you're in both of them already. If not, I can link them.
No, I think he wanted Bob's in the Discord. I don't think Bob's going to mind us linking his.
Oh no, Bob's not going to give two rats behinds.
Yeah, Bob's one of those guys that I wish I lived closer by, because he's very like-minded than the way I think.
Absolutely.
Okay. Oh, that's where that. Oh, okay. You don't have any POTA in Australia?
No, they have POTA and VK.
Because I know there's POTA here in Japan.
it's worldwide flora and fauna.
I've heard that before too.
Okay, so without diving too deep down into the rabbit hole, because I noticed we've lost some people already.
Yeah.
Worldwide Flora and Fauna was the original program, and Parks on the Air stemmed from National Parks on the Air, which was a one-time event here in the U.S., and so POTA came from that and then went to other countries as well. And as they went to the other countries, they picked up the WWF park numbers, or what we know as park numbers, in order to keep things the same. But no,
gotcha.
they definitely have POTA down in Australia.
Okay.
POTA was a ripoff of SOTA and IOTA.
We have all the OTAs now. There's Walmart parking lots on the air even.
That's
well,
great.
Wasn't it?
That's great.
Who was it mentioned about Greg doing a showers on the air or something like that?
Oh, Ryan K. So if you don't understand the reference there, Ryan has this thing of taking his radio in the shower with him, and whenever Greg comes on like 30 Charlie or 14 Charlie on D-Star, Ryan will key up from in the shower. So Ryan is showers on the air.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Speaking of which, Greg is apparently live streaming right now.
Yeah, he usually live streams before I'm finished here. He's always cutting into my traffic. No, I'm just kidding. I'm usually done way before this. This is obviously just like last week. We went further too, which is no big deal. But we'll wind it down here. Anybody have any other things to promote or discuss or questions or?
Real quick, let me do this the right way. Chris, that's the Ragchew Crew Discord, which is Paul's Discord. And let's see, copy, switch over here. This is Ham Radio Wilderness, which is my Discord. So if you wish to join either of them, there you go. Links are in the chat. And I just closed one too many windows. Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to get the Ragchew Crew kind of like Coffee and Ham Radios, where it's a group of guys kind of running it all, so that if one or two guys are gone, other people can run it. So,
absolutely.
Frank's a backbone of everything, so Frank's there. Michael can get busy sometimes, but Michael's in there as well. Once I teach him Discord, right, Michael?
Okay. That sounds
And
like
So-
you
what I
have
will,
Paul
what I
and
will
I
do
live
is I'll drop
15 minutes.
real quick. I'll drop Michael's link and my link a couple times in here as well.
And just so you guys know that that's not just a still shot of Tokyo.
That's live.
There's the city.
Here, hold on, Paul. Let me solo that.
Okay.
All right, now you're soloed.
This is at my 27th floor here in Tokyo. All the little ants down on the ground. Tokyo Tower there. I can zoom in. Really beautiful park there. And the park where that tower's at is the one I tried to activate last year and just could not get anything to work. So I'll try again sometime.
All right, Chris,
But
give me a second.
Let me end
Chris
this one.
asked for Bob's Discord too. Chris, yeah, I don't blame you. The vertigo is a little strong there, Paul.
That right there, is that not good? What if I do this?
Yeah, no. Probably not the greatest thing for a live stream. There you go, Chris. There's Bob's Discord as well.
All right. Well, guys, thanks. Sorry, let me close this up. It's too bright. Thanks for joining the live stream and ragchewing with me tonight and kind of making my layover pass a little quicker than normal, keeping me company here.
And I will apologize for Paul not going live right on time. I was running a little behind on getting back into studio, and I wasn't aware that he wasn't live until I hopped in.
Yeah, I'm used to
engrossed in the video, and all of a sudden, hey, did you hit the live button?
we may have done the whole thing without being live. I'm used to OBS.
Are you live?
Yeah, I'm still working on it. And I had my camera over there that I normally have sitting on the side with the channel stream on to make sure it's running, so I didn't even know. All right, guys. Good discussion. Thanks everyone for joining. I can't think of anything else. We've got all the links linked, posted. Discords are up. Next Saturday or next Sunday night, another Ragchew session. If anyone wants to join, you're welcome to join. You can come in here, or if you just want to be on voice, I can stream it off of the Discord as well. This week, I don't know if you have anything coming out, Michael or Frank, videos.
I do actually, but I'll let Michael.
What do you got?
First. Michael, you wrap.
Michael,
you wrap things up.
I try to do every other week, and we did the blessing of the fleet last week. So if you haven't checked out that video, it's a shorter video. But it was an annual event ending the week of boat safety, or the month of boat safety. So they did the blessing of and I got to do it with the Coast Guard Auxiliary. That was a lot of fun.
That was with Lynn, right?
Correct.
Oh, yeah, that was a good video. Interesting. All right, Frank.
And for me, I have a video coming out Tuesday with the Tuesday night premieres, which include well, not every week, but the general weeks is Lou, Hyken, and Hammond, Jeff, K3, JRZ, Digital Ranchers part of it, Carlos, Life at Terminal Velocity. So every week is different as to who has a video coming out. This week, I have one coming out. I go live every Thursday at 10 Central for the Northern California SwapNet. Yes,
10 Central or 10 Pacific?
And what?
10 Pacific or 10 Central?
10 Central.
Oh, okay.
I've learned to get things in Central Time.
All right. I thought maybe you meant Pacific.
Everybody.
Okay, no, that's all right. Go ahead.
So 10 Central for the NorCal SwapNet every Thursday night. I know that's late for you guys, but this SwapNet's been running for 27 years now, and I just only recently am bringing it into the 21st century, so they start late for us. So I apologize for that, but yeah. So Tuesday night, Thursday night, and then every other Friday night, I have CQ Chit Chat. This last week, we had Lou, Vince VE6LK, and Andy and his son General Tyler on the stream, and we answered General Tyler's questions that he may have had. Real fun live stream. My next one, I'm going to try and leave it as a surprise, but if you're in the Discords or if you follow me on social media, you've probably seen my request go out. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Carlos, I got to meet Carlos on the air. We set up my portable station I was referring to earlier, and we had a brand new class of graduate from the class and get their general licenses. And Carlos was the guy running a POTUS station. We all the generals got to talk to him. And that's how
nice.
his YouTube channel was talking to him on the air. So, that's
So
very cool.
he wasn't jumping out of a plane that time.
No, he was not jumping out of a plane. And so he told me about his YouTube channel, and he made some comments on mine. So that's very cool. And Colin, there's actually three videos that I've done with the Coast Guard Auxiliary. So I think first one's Coast Guard exercise or Coast Guard drill, and then we had another drill this past year, and then we did the blessing of the fleet. So if you wanted the first two, the older two videos are nearly an hour long, and we just go through everything. It was a mass casualty drill both times, but they ended with barbecue, so that wasn't a bad ending. So
hey,
that one I linked.
Ending.
That one I linked about halfway up in the chat there is the blessing video.
All right, you guys. Well, I think that puts a bow on it, right?
I think so, guys. Thanks again, everyone. 73s, and we'll see you next week.
And I'll hit the buy button.